Get ready for a cinematic journey. We're diving into the movie remakes we actually want. Nostalgia is in the air, and we have some classics that deserve a fresh twist. What about those hidden gems just waiting for their moment? Our list has something for every movie lover out there. Join us as we explore why these films resonate now more than ever. It's a fun yet thought-provoking analysis you won't want to miss. And hey, we want to hear from you. Comment below with your dream remakes.
Exciting news for movie lovers. 2025 is bringing us some remakes that fans are buzzing about. First up, Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro, is set for November and promises a haunting take on the classic. Next, we have Bugonia, starring Emma Stone, where a CEO gets caught in a web of conspiracy theorists. It's not a traditional remake, but it's definitely intriguing. Then there's Anaconda, hitting theaters on Christmas Day, which flips the original horror into a comedy-horror hybrid. 28 years later is also on the horizon, continuing the chilling saga of the rage virus survivors. The Conjuring, Last Rites is expected to deliver more paranormal scares, while M3 Jan 2.0 brings back our favorite creepy doll with a twist. And don't forget about other remakes like Final Destination, Bloodlines, The Toxic Avenger, The Strangers, Chapter 2, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. So, which one are you most excited for?
Several classic movies are widely considered deserving of a fresh remake, with strong potential to amaze modern audiences by updating their stories, themes, and production values. Remakes with high potential. Black Widow. The original sapphic subtext was constrained by the era. A contemporary remake could fully explore themes of obsession and attraction, making for a nuanced neo-noir that resonates today. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The concept, a team of literary characters in a steampunk adventure, was not fully realized in the 2003 film. A remake with better balanced casting and creative direction could unlock its unique potential and deliver a visually striking ensemble film. Betrayed. The infiltration thriller concept is powerful, especially for exploring contemporary themes of radicalization and ideological sympathy. A remake could be timely and impactful. Logan's Run. The premise, utopian society hiding a dystopian reality where everyone dies at 30, remains compelling. With current concerns about resource scarcity and authoritarianism, a remake could bring sharp social commentary and thrilling spectacle. Top 10 movie remakes we actually want to see. With all the remakes and reboots coming out of Hollywood today, some are hit and miss while others are just not necessary, but these are some older movies we would actually like to see. The top 10 movie remakes we hope happen one day. But what will take the top spot on our list? Will it be Dune, Highlander, or even The Goonies? Watch to find out. Number 12. The Lost Boys. Okay, we might have all survived the vampire craze of the mid-2000s, and we understand it will be hard to top Kiefer Sutherland's David, who is the coolest vampire around since the old Count shuffled off his cape. But a fresh horror comedy about a motorcycle gang of teenage punk vampires? Sounds exactly like the sort of thing that deserves a resurrection. They can even keep those boss leather jackets and the subterranean hideaway. But maybe next time let's have about 100% fewer mullets. Jury's still out about the greased up sacks on the beach. No, you didn't mishear us. Number 11. The Last Starfighter. Yeah, we know, another movie with the chosen one. But we still haven't gotten tired of it. We've gotten new renditions, like Ender Wiggin fighting creatures across space, and even little twists, like the Galaxy Quest crew mistakenly being tasked with saving the galaxy, but then you have this cult classic. In every gamer's dream, Alex Rogan actually is The Last Starfighter. With cinematic technology doing some incredible things these days, from the grand vistas of Interstellar to the hyperrealism of Avatar, imagine if this 1984 cult classic was given the modern blockbuster treatment. The original was meant to have a sequel that never materialized, but for modern moviegoers looking for more, this one would lend nicely to a new sci-fi franchise. Number 10. Dragonheart. Critics weren't wild about this one, but audiences were. This cult classic took us to the stars, giving us a standout tale starring Dennis Quaid and that really climactic score. This 1996 fantasy adventure was a remarkably fun romp about a cynical knight, the last dragon, and a good prince who turns into an evil king. While the film was a delight back in 1996, and was even nominated for an Oscar for its visual effects, 21st century technology could give it a good facelift. We'd keep Sean Connery as the voice of Draco the Dragon, and with updated graphics we'd be right in line at the theater. Number 9. Pet Sematary. When Stephen King's books are adapted for film, they unfortunately tend to be hit or miss. While this isn't the strongest adaptation of King's great body of work, it was freaky enough to get our attention as kids. With it both soon to get a reboot, and Carrie, already updated back in 2013, we might as well throw this onto the pile of King classics to get a makeover. Between a dead pet, and then a dead kid, this supernatural horror was certainly gut-wrenching.
Number 8. Gremlins, 1984. Never have the holidays and horror been so seamlessly blended. This admittedly bizarre 1984 Chris Columbus-penned offering was a huge success, and saw its share of imitators, but nothing could ever quite capture its magic. In a world fascinated by fantastical creatures big and small, wouldn't it make sense to revisit one of the original pocket-sized critters? The use of puppets is truly a big part of what made the film memorable, and we'd hate to see Gizmo and his evil clones reduced to dodgy CGI. But as there seems to be a renewed appreciation for physical props in Hollywood, maybe we wouldn't have to worry. Number 7. Fahrenheit 451, 1966. This adaptation of Ray Bradbury's 1953 novel of the same name takes the trope of set in a not-so-distant future and does something new with it. However, given that the average moviegoer carries a supercomputer in their pocket nowadays, it feels like the unspecified future in the movie is already in our past. But the state of the traditional book publishing industry, and fears that the general public is losing touch with books, makes this story feel more relevant than ever. Remember, it may not glow, but a book is complete technology in and of itself. And a world in which that sort of indelible information is banned. We're shuddering already. Number 6. Twister, 1996. Oh, the mid-90s, a time when you could name a natural disaster and there was surely soon to be a film about it. Total destruction by volcano, asteroid, or heavy rainfall each lent their share of excitement, but our favorite was this tornado-themed thrill ride. Even with a stellar cast, the premise of a bunch of storm chasers/scientists pursuing twisters and throwing a machine into them to gather data is amazingly ridiculous, but also amazingly fun. Rather than go for a dark or gritty angle, the movie somehow managed to keep it lighthearted. That's the sort of 90s nostalgia we're looking for. Number 5. The Mummy. While The Mummy is technically a remake of the 1932 Universal monster movie of the same name, it feels like a very different film. This works in its favor. The Mummy doesn't need to beat a horror classic. It can exist as a purely fun adventure film. Number 4. Scent of a Woman, 1992. Scent of a Woman is a remake of the 1974 Italian film of the same name. Both films are also based on Giovanni Arpino's 1969 novel Il Bio e il Mila. While the Italian original is arguably better, the American version features great performances by Al Pacino, Chris O'Donnell, Gabrielle Anwar, James Rebhorn, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Bradley Whitford. The film follows a blind, retired Army lieutenant and a prep school student who spend Thanksgiving together in New York. The film was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, winning for Best Actor, Pacino's first and only to date. Number 3. A Fistful of Dollars. A Fistful of Dollars follows a stranger who arrives in a small Mexican town and becomes embroiled in a conflict between the sheriff and a local gang. The film stars Clint Eastwood, Marianne Koch, Joseph Egger, Wolfgang Luxshire, John Maria Vallant, Daniel Martin, Bruno Caratenuto, and Benito Stefanelli. It is now considered one of the best westerns ever made. Is it better than Yojimbo? Well, no, but it's hard to beat Kurosawa. Number 2, Some Like It Hot. Many don't know that Some Like It Hot is a remake of the 1935 French film Fanfare of Love. Part of that may be because the original was French, but it also likely has to do with the original 1930s film not being very good. Some Like It Hot follows two jazz-age musicians who get into drag to join an all-girl band and avoid the mob. Directed by Billy Wilder, the film stars Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and Marilyn Monroe. While the film was protested by conservative groups upon its release, it is now considered one of the greatest American comedies ever made. Number 1. The remake of Beauty and the Beast is a shining example of a remake done right. Starring Emma Watson as Belle and Dan Stevens as the Beast, this live-action adaptation of the beloved Disney classic stayed true to the original story while also adding new elements to make it relevant for a modern audience. The film received critical acclaim for its stunning visual effects, talented cast, and memorable musical numbers. It proved to be a box office success, grossing over $1.2 billion worldwide. Beauty and the Beast is a prime example of how a movie remake can successfully capture the magic of the original while also giving it a fresh twist. Remaking these films with female leads would transform the genre's traditional male-centered narratives, potentially yielding more complex and relevant stories. Join us as we dive into the nostalgic world of cinema and explore the tantalizing remakes we can't wait to see. From iconic classics that could benefit from a modern twist to beloved animated films that deserve a live-action reimagining, we're breaking down the contenders for the ultimate revival. Get ready for unexpected dream casts, mind-blowing directors, and the fresh take on stories that defined our childhood. Don't forget to share your thoughts on which remakes you are hoping will make it to the big screen. Hit that like button and subscribe for more cinema magic.